Computer viruses all follow the same concept: hacking, stealing, grabbing information, but not all of them do them in the exact same nature that other viruses do. That's what sets computer viruses apart from how dangerous they are. In this video, we will be going over the top 10 most dangerous computer viruses that have ever been targeted at an operating system in history. We will base this off of how much damage was caused, the overall cost of the damage, and the nature of the virus in general. With that out of the way, let's dive in.
Want to decrypt, that pops up. We can see our files just disappeared here. They have all been encrypted and now no longer function. If we open this up,
The Wannacry ransomware is possibly the most infamous ransomware in history. It was discovered back in May 2017 and was designed to encrypt files and demand a ransom from victims. It infected over 200,000 computers and cost around $4 billion in damages. Nobody knows for sure who made the virus, but according to the US government, the virus likely came from North Korea. Petya is another ransomware similar to Wannacry. It was first discovered in 2016 and targeted Microsoft operating systems. It followed the same formula as any other ransomware, encrypting important files and asking for a ransom in return. But what made this one so dangerous is that this virus also encrypted the master boot record. If you have no idea what a master boot record is, a master boot record is a system inside your computer that manages the process of turning your computer on. Without it, your computer is unable to boot. What this virus did is that whenever you booted your computer up, it would instantly display a message across the screen with the ransom, and unless you paid the ransom, you were unable to boot your computer up or get your files back. Petya spread fast and ended up costing over $10 billion in damages. The Melissa virus was a mass mailing email virus which spread in early 1999. It targeted Microsoft Word and email servers and brought the servers down due to the amount of traffic. It would spread itself to the first 50 contacts in your Outlook email, which was the reason that the servers crashed. Eventually, though, the author of this virus was caught. His name was David L. Smith, and he was sentenced to 20 months in prison. The Melissa virus costed more than $80 million in damage. The Chernobyl virus, also known as CIH, was a virus targeting Windows 9X systems. It first appeared in 1998, and then over time grew more destructive. But what made this virus special is that it was the first of its kind to physically harm your computer. Once launched, the virus would get to work on infecting the BIOS and hardware, which would render your computer unbootable. The virus was created by Chen Hao, who was a university student in Taiwan. In its run, the Chernobyl virus ended up infecting nearly 60 million computers and ended up costing over $35 million in damage. The ILOVEYOU email worm was a worm that spread rapidly on and after May 5, 2000. It originated in the Philippines and was released out of pure curiosity. The curiosity, however, caused it to spread fast through email servers. How this virus worked that it would spread rapidly through email contacts, but it would appear as a love letter to somebody, which is what tricked people on opening the file. Once the file was opened, the file extension would reveal that it was not a love letter note, but it was rather a visual basic script. The script searched for files to overwrite, like MP3s, pictures, videos, and more. And once that was finished, it would email itself to people in your contacts as well and do the exact same thing there. And in total, It ended up costing nearly $15 billion in damage. The Sasser worm was a virus that targeted the network of your internet. It attacks computers through open ports, which is the reason we should all have firewalls installed. It was released in 2004 and caused chaos not only on computers, but around the world. The virus was able to mess with airport systems, causing numerous flights to be cancelled. Hospital X-rays were also unable to function correctly because of the virus, and it ended up costing nearly $18 billion in damages. SQL Slammer was a denial-of-service type virus, which affected websites all around the internet. It attacked web servers, which also led to ATMs crashing worldwide. It also messed with airlines, leading to cancellation of flights. But worst of all, 911 services were also affected due to the attack. In total, SQL Slammer cost around $1 billion in damages. The Code Red virus was another denial-of-service virus. It managed to take several websites down and displayed a message on them that claimed that the Chinese were behind the attack. This, however, was proven to be most likely false. If a user somehow visited the infected website, the worm would exploit a buffer overflow vulnerability. This would allow the virus to also hop onto your computer, infecting it in the process. It was the most sophisticated denial-of-service attack in Microsoft's history, and ended up costing over $2 billion in damage. The SoBig virus started in 2003. It was a combination of a worm and a Trojan all in one. The victim would get a typical bait email that had an attachment inside of it. It mostly affected the United States. It slowed down airports, slowed down major corporations, and almost slowed down the United States government as well. At the time, it was the fastest-growing virus ever created in history. In fact, 1 in 17 emails in 2003 were said to be carrying the SoBig virus. 40 million emails were scanned, and 20 million of them were containing the virus. In total, the SoBig virus costed nearly $37.1 billion in damage. It is now time for the ultimate reveal on which virus is in our #1 spot. Before I reveal the #1, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I work on these videos for days, so it would really mean a lot to me. With that out of the way, let's reveal #1. MyDoom, a really fitting name for #1, huh? It started off in 2004 and infected every 1 in 12 emails sent via email. It was so huge that Microsoft and even Google were extremely worried, and they offered a reward of up to $250,000 to anyone who had information on who might be behind the virus. Later variants of MyDoom were also capable of doing denial-of-service attacks. MyDoom brought down email servers due to the amount of traffic, and in total, MyDoom ended up costing over $38 billion in damage.